Um, Upsetting the Balance by David Fine, about the food chain. So now we're going to look at our reading workbook at parts 1 and 2 that go along with that. That's going to be pages 137 and 138. So go ahead and find your reading workbook and find page 137. It'll look like this that I have on the screen, identifying reasons. Every time an author writes a story, there's a reason that they write it, and there's always an important idea or a key point. So that's what we're going to look for in this story. A key point is an important idea an author wants you to understand. Authors give reasons to support the key points. Okay, so every time that there's a key point or an important idea, there's also reasons that go along with that. So look carefully at this example here. This is the key point in another story. Bees help more than they harm. Okay, so the author wanted us to know that that was an important idea or the key point. The reasons or are facts or examples that support or explain why the author has that idea. So here are the reasons that go along with this key point. You might be afraid of bees because they can sting, but bees do a lot to help people. Bees help plants make fruit by spreading pollen from flower to flower. A lot of the food you eat is thanks to bees. So when you identify the reasons an author gives, it will help you understand the key point. Okay, so go ahead and turn to the back of that page. This is a practice together page, so we're going to do it all together. This will help you with your other ones. So thinking about the Upsetting the Balance story, it says, circle the sentence that tells one of the author's key points. Okay, and the hint here is a key point is a big important idea. Okay, so look at these two right here. Number 1, food chains are important to all living things. Number 2, picture it as a set of links. So both of those sentences are in our story over here. Okay, so we've got these right here. Now, which one of those do you think is going to be the big important idea? Number 1 or number 2? If you said number 1, you are correct. That is our main idea or our key point. So go ahead and circle number 1. Okay. The second part of it says, write one reason the author gives to support the point. Okay, so we're going to look for that reason to support this. The hint says, how are all living things connected by a food chain? So look over here. Excuse me. Each link is a plant or animal that becomes a meal for the next. All living things in a food chain, even people, depend on another link for food. Excuse me, so that's going to be our reason. So I'm going to type it here, and you could write it. All living things depend on another link for food. So we all depend on each other for our food. So I'm going to change that just a little bit to make it easier to read. All right. So you always go back in your story to help you find your answer. So we went back into our paragraphs here about the food chain to find the reason that the author gave. So in the next video, you will find parts 3 and 4. We'll finish out pages 139 and 140. See you next time.